Hi everybody, Linda Carroll here from my studio, Gather of Great Things. I hope you're having a great day. It's sunny and chilly here at the beach, but it's a bright day and kind of feels good. So I laid out my collage for the 12th day of Christmas. But first, I want to show you that I did find my number 11. It was stuck to the back of my border envelope since I guess some static electricity was built up, but I did find it and put it in place. So the 11th day of Christmas is complete, and I'm ready actually to glue down my 12th day of Christmas collage. On the 12th day of Christmas, let me see if I can find my part of my book. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 12 drummers drumming. Well, I went through my magazines that I had, and I started pulling out things that really caught my eye. And the first thing that caught my eye was this piece, and it is and naturally it reminded me of a government building, and I pulled that, and then I already had this in place. I had pulled something else with a blue sky, and I just had to glue this all down. And obviously the colors are red, white, and blue. And obviously things that are going on in my country are definitely on my mind and in my subconscious. And so I thought, okay, that's my message here. I need to get some things down on paper. I'm still processing what happened the other day, and that's okay. That's a good thing. So I remembered that I had a basket under my table that I had torn out a lot, and this is a lot of magazine pages that I had yet to file. So, and there's some great stuff in here. So that's probably going to be my job over the next couple of days, is to sort and file a lot of that. But sometimes it's great just to go through a pile of papers that haven't been sorted and see what you can find. And I found this page that it looked like the Milky Way, space, outer space, the unknown. And when I laid it on this image that I had created for my background, I thought it just complemented it so well. And at first I had it, covering up the entire side of the background, which looks okay. I kind of like the split here, and I love these colors. I love the torn edge, which I did, and so I was looking at that, and then I kind of moved it down a little bit and left part of the building exposed up there at the top. And I liked that even more. And I wish I could tell you exactly why, but I don't know. I think just design-wise, the colors up here really blend together, and I wanted to be able to see that. And then when I fussy cut out all of my drummers drumming and put them in a group. Now I cut their drums off, and I was going to replace the drums with something else, but I decided, no, I don't think I need to. I think the drumsticks were enough at this particular time. So I'm playing with placement right now. And I realized when I finished, I had this one left. And he was tucked up here underneath a piece of paper. So I brought him out, and I had not fussy cut him out yet. And I thought, since this one is in such a different stance than the other ones, because all the other ones were holding their drums in their left hands and were getting ready to beat on it with their stick, this fellow had his arms wide apart. And I thought, well, he is really different from the rest of these drummers. So I decided to leave his drum in his arm so that he could continue to play his drum. And there are 11 drummers over here. Some of them are going in this direction. Some of them are looking straight ahead. And some of them are looking back at this drummer drumming by himself. And I immediately thought of the saying, marching to your own drummer. And there are a lot of different, I did a little bit of research, and there are a lot of different ways to interpret that particular phrase. It could be that it's a positive, and it could also be a negative. So you have that duality there. So I thought it was definitely food for thought, and I felt like this is really all that I want to put on this page. So to me, it says a lot. To me, it's very symbolic. And I think that I did it in this book. Maybe not. It might be in another one of my journals. It is. But I've only done one other collage with the American flag in it. So the way this one turned out, I thought was extremely interesting and full of symbolism, and that you could really relate to it in a lot of different ways. So I already glued down my background. And again, it's in thirds. We have this third down here, this third going through the middle, and this third up here on the top. So I already had a pleasing design going on in the background. Now, putting this piece on it kind of it did disrupt the thirds over on this side. And I think that's what its intention was to disrupt this setting here, which looks very peaceful. There was a little figure, actually there was a family here walking up this sidewalk. But they're not part of this particular story. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these images down and think a little bit while I'm doing it about what it means to march to your own drum. Now, you know, the Dadaists, the Dadas were known to be nonconformists. They were kind of rebelling against traditional art and talking and showing things through their art in a very, very different way. That was indeed totally different from the way that art had been perceived and created. And they spoke about politics in a lot of their artwork and how they felt about the state of the world and everything. So I think, and I don't believe I usually do that in my artwork, and I don't believe I'm doing that here, but I know that I'm expressing feelings that I've been feeling on the last, or through the last couple of days. And I usually try to kind of stay in my own bubble. But the last couple of days, it's been almost impossible. I think everybody has been affected by the events of the last couple of days. So I feel like this is kind of my response, and I think it's very interesting that it came about the way that it did. The creation of this particular collage and the timing of the collage and the images that I found and the feelings that I get from it, the metaphors happening in here in this particular collage. Really give me kind of a feeling that, you know, of peace almost, you know. I mean, there's still a lot going on, and there's still people that will move in a direction like sheep following a shepherd in a group, in a, in a group. But there are always those who continue to march to their own drum. They hear a different drum. They feel things differently. And they hold their soul beliefs in a, sacred place. So I think that one of the things I've discovered through this journey, through the 12 days of Christmas, is the way my collages make meaning in my life and explain to me personally what I'm feeling and who I am. And if that makes sense to you, I'd love to hear your comments below. And even if it doesn't make sense to you, I'd like to know what you think about those thoughts. I started these collages with an intention. It wasn't totally an intuitive approach to collage, which I think I also do those kinds of collages, but in this particular series, I started with an intention to portray the characters in this song and interpret what I was reading and hearing in my own way. And indeed, there are lots of stories and a narrative in each collage. I don't know that there's a narrative that goes through the entire series of collages. I'm going to have to really look at that and kind of decide. But I know that each one of these has its own narrative, its own meaning to me. And one thing I love about doing collage is that someone else can look at the collage and come up with a totally different narrative depending on their response to the images that are on the page or on the canvas. So this is my 12th day of Christmas. The 12th day of Christmas comes right before the Epiphany. And I think that will take some thinking about and writing about. So I'm going to leave you with this one. I'm going to put this entire page on the opposite page, just like I did here, I don't know how it will be incorporated in the page. But that's going to be across from the 12th day of Christmas. Okay, I'm not going to add a number 12 to this, at least not right now. We'll have the entire page over here on this side, and I might put a number 12 over here. But I think this says everything that I wanted to say through this collage. And the next video that I do is going to be a flip through of this series. And it might not be for a couple days. I want to take some time and really look at the collages and think about them, and maybe write down a few things that I find through my researching, and also I'd like to incorporate some of your reactions to the collages as well, because I find people might really respond to your responses more than mine. So I hope you're having a great day or evening. I want to say many blessings to you. I will see you soon. Bye for now.